If you want to record audio onto your computer, you need three things: a mic, a preamp, and a digital audio converter. Now, some of you might have a USB mic and be like, what are you talking about? I just have a microphone. No, you do have those three things. They're all just built into the microphone. Hence, why USB mics can only go so far in quality, because you have a preamp and digital audio converter in the, like, you know what I mean? Microphones like this one, this is a big ass heavy microphone that just picks up audio. Then it plugs into a separate device that has the preamp and the digital audio converter that is then turned into USB and plugs into the computer, right? So it's just adding one extra step. For those that, you know, are scared of upgrading from their USB mic, it's just adding one extra device. The typical device that you see is the Scarlett Focusrite. It's only like $100. It's a really solid preamp and digital audio converter. And you get that thing, you get a cheap XLR mic, and guaranteed you're bound to sound better than a USB mic around that same price. So, but then if you have a Scarlett Focusrite, you're a little constrained, right? If you want to have multiple people, well, now you've got to get the Scarlett Focusrite that's got multiple mic ports, and that's hundreds and hundreds of dollars more. And then if you want to plug in multiple headphones so each person with a microphone can hear themselves, well, now you've got to go out and get a separate device called a headphones amplifier that I've learned from personal experience. If you buy a cheap one, it's not going to sound good. So then you got to buy an expensive headphone amplifier. So now you've got two devices. And then if you eventually, like, man, I want to hear live, real-time, no delay audio processing, compression, noise gate, all that, as I'm recording. Well, those are all usually separate devices that you have to buy individually that are also hundreds of dollars. And that now you've got all these devices plugged into each other, and it's a mess. And that's the route I was going. Because if you didn't know, before this, I had a Behringer mixer, and I was getting close to buying a noise gate / compressor device to then plug into the mixer and then have that. But I found out about this device. Now, there's one other device, it's like called the Zoom Pod Track or something, that I've actually seen a lot of really big podcasters use. Well, I've actually also seen a lot of big podcasters and streamers at this point using the Rodecaster, but this one's a little bit newer. You want to see the owner's manual for this thing? Life-size, unnecessary, but still kind of cool. Literally life-size. Same size as the actual thing. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 microphone inputs. You could plug up to 4 microphones, XLR, that each have their own channels that you can go in and adjust the audio processing settings for. If you're interested to hear what audio processing settings this thing has, everything you could ever need for a podcast. High pass filter, noise gate, de-esser, compressor, and famous Aphex, spelled A-P-H-E-X, effects. Why do people gotta name shit all confusing, by the way? Aphex, effects? That's like just as confusing as my monthly unboxing videos that I do, where the company is named Unboxing the Bazaar and I unbox their box. Why is it gotta be in the name? Why you gotta make it so confusing to say? The Aphex effects on board, there's 2 of them. It's essentially EQ. Don't be scared by the names. We got an oral exciter. This, I don't know why I'm clicking into this as if you can see it. It's got an oral exciter, also not spelt O-R-A-L, but A-U-R-A-L, exciter. And this accentuates the high end or treble frequencies to bring up your speech. Okay, very useful. And big bottom, which accentuates low end to get that nice chesty, bassy low end in there. And that's it. Yeah, I said them all. So high pass filter, noise gate, de-esser, compressor, and 2 Aphex effects, oral exciter, but not oral exciter, and big bottom. Okay, those are all the effects that you can apply on all 4 microphone channels. Then you also have a USB channel. This is special. An actual slider channel from the audio coming from your computer via this thing being connected USB. That's how you input and output from your computer back through it through your headphones or speakers. Then you can also plug in an auxiliary cord, which they have a smartphone symbol for, because the way they sell this is like, this is specifically for podcasting only, and this channel is for if you want to have phone calls. It's like, no, dude, you can plug. Let's be real. Let's think outside the box. You can plug anything auxiliary into this channel and it'll have a slider for the channel. A Bluetooth channel. A freaking Bluetooth channel. That's on no other mixer, I think, or device like this has a Bluetooth channel. That's amazing. Connect your phone, turn up that, boom, now your music's playing out your headphones and anything else you have connected to this Rodecaster. And then this final slider is for this 8-button sound effects board, which in the touchscreen also has multiple banks. This thing has its own internal storage. You can have, I don't know, I have like 8 banks and I'm not even close to halfway filling it. So, I mean, just right there. I mean, 4 mic inputs, extra channels for music or other phone calls, people, sound effects right on the device. You don't even, it comes with pre-sound effects. You don't even need sound effects. If you're like, well, I don't really know how to, you don't need to. It's got them already built in. Just use the ones they have. This is where it gets really exciting, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 headphone outputs, each with their own individual volume knobs. Now that is a big deal. That's unheard of. You never have that many headphone outputs, and certainly they never get their own volume knobs. But now it's so easy to have multiple people in a podcast, have them plug in their headphones and adjust their volume to their own liking. It's beautiful. You can also plug in stereo monitor speakers and have another output. So that's actually 5 outputs. And they also have a little 3.5 millimeter jack on the bottom here. So 6 outputs. It's unbelievable. As you can also see, it's got a big record button that you see right now is red on mine. That means it's recording. And I've got a micro SD card in there, and that's what it records to. You literally don't even need to connect this thing to a computer. Right? It's got all the audio processing already on it. You've got all your sound effects. You can connect other things to play other sounds and music, and you can record right to it. Like literally this, I have my MacBook here just to see my notes for what I'm talking about. This device isn't even connected to it at all. Didn't even bring the USB cable down because you don't need it. I'm just recording right to the SD card. And it's easier this way because I've had so many problems in the past with this computer fucking recording with Audacity and Audacity freezing and then closing and then not saving my audio. As you know, if you've been watching this podcast for a while, you know I've had way too many audio problems. This device is going to eliminate that entirely because, I mean, the record button is big in red and there's a big ass count up for how long I've been going. So I really can't... I really don't have an excuse to not know if I'm recording or not. And, you know, I've never had this thing freeze up or anything, so I don't think that's possible. Their target audience is very obviously, first of all, people that have no clue what they're doing. And they're just like, yeah, dude, you can take this thing right out of the box, plug it in, and be recording within minutes and sound like $1 million, like a professional. And all of that is very true. However, my biggest problem with that, the price. The one thing I've avoided talking about this entire time, this thing is going to run you back about 600 buckaroonies, my friend. That's a hit. Now, after all I've talked about, after all the things that this is capable of, $600 is very reasonable. Hence why I really wanted to get it. And also because I had just gotten my stimulus check. I'm not going to lie. I don't want you to think I just went out and bought a $500 microphone and then immediately bought a $600 interface. No. I'm not That's a stimmy check, my friend. But yeah, like the newbies that they're targeting this to, who is gonna spend $600? They don't have that much money. I barely have that much money, and I'm passionate, and I've been recording audio for 10 years, and I'm a young adult. I have a job, I can save up, but $600 is a lot for me. It's funny because I think they've realized that because again, like I've said, I've seen this device in professional podcasts. They had an update. They updated the firmware in this device recently where they actually allow you to adjust all the parameters for the processing effects. Like you can actually set where the high pass filter is at at 80 hertz or 100 hertz, whatever. And all that for the noise gate, for everything else. You can set each individual parameter, whereas before this recent update, you weren't able to do that. Like this device was just for newbies, and it was just like you hit the preset for the mic, which they only had presets for Rode microphones, because this is a Rode device, and that was it. You had like I think a couple different options, like if you have a strong voice or a soft voice or a loud voice or a quiet voice, but that was it. That's all you could, and then you could turn off the individual audio processing settings, but you couldn't adjust anything. You couldn't see the parameters. Now you can, because I feel like they realized, oh shit, there's a lot of professionals using this. I mean, it is professional quality. Like they're literally underselling this device. But anyways, if you get a stimulus check or if you get your taxes back and, if you're willing to commit to $600, this seriously will not disappoint. And as this is coming from somebody that, I film 90% of my shit by myself. I'm not even going to use half these ports or levels half the time. But the amount of times I've been in a situation where I do have multiple people, it's been a fucking struggle. And so now it's just going to be nice and easy, plug right in, have your own volume knob, have your own channel, record right onto it, boom, sound effects on the same thing. That's it. That's all you need. Am I going on too long about this? People said I went on too long about my microphone. Listen, I'm an audio fucking nerd. I love audio. Speaking of audio, that's the greatest segue I've ever done. Apple Music adds lossless audio